We are the painters of our world. We are creators.
Our first guest is Dr. Ashante Hands. Dr. Hands is the president of San Diego Mesa College and is a true leader in the area of dual enrollment and disruptor of the status quo, who is committed to equity, diversity, justice, inclusion, and student success. Dr. Hands, it is a pleasure to have you here today.
It is wonderful being here. Thank you.
You've been the president of San Diego Mesa College since July 2022, but you've been dedicated to serving in education for 3 decades. Tell us about your journey and how you ended up in your current role. How did you get here?
How did I get here? I would say that my journey has been more of a calling, right? There's been a tugging at my heart since 4th grade that I can date back to when I was first bused to a predominantly white neighborhood from a predominantly Black neighborhood. And once I started to ask questions, something didn't sit well. And so there was this unsettling, even as a 4th grader. And so that calling kept being, tugged at different stages. And then also to being a student at Inglewood High School, where I was able to see firsthand the inequities in the systems that I had experienced. And so I did my undergraduate at UCSD. And then I went on to get a master's from San Diego State in education with a focus in multicultural counseling, and then several years later pursued a doctorate in educational leadership. And I can honestly tell you that no one would ever say that they've heard me say, I want to be a president. I want to be a president. Like that ultimately was not the goal. But I do feel that I've always been in passionate pursuit of my purpose. And so for me, one of the ways that I will often greet our students, or when I think about the spirit or the essence of how it is that we should be approaching projects, initiatives, our students, is a South African greeting. It's called Sawubona, right? And Sawubona literally translated means I see you. It really recognizes the dignity and the worth of individuals. And so it says that I see you. I see the whole of you, your hopes, your dreams, your challenges. And it says that all of you has value and worth.
How would you describe dual enrollment to someone that's never heard that term before?
So dual enrollment is an opportunity for high school students to take college classes, to receive college credit while they are still in school. I think you said it, like with their backpack on, right? Sure. Getting this college credit. And so that in general is what it is. And so as a system, in particular in California, we do call dual enrollment by many names. And so we have 3 different levels. One is an accelerated pathway for students who will typically go right into a 4-year institution. Then we also have a program where we actually are teaching students at the high school. So we have community college faculty go into the high schools and teach students in spaces that are familiar, that feel safe, where they have additional support. And then we also have concurrent enrollment. And this is where students on their own will come to the college campus and take classes. And so there they are enrolled with students, and people may not even know that they're high school students. So there are many ways to be able to engage and participate in dual enrollment. But the whole purpose is to make sure that we can create this culture of college identity. Right? We want students to see themselves as college students. And so we are not waiting for them to become a senior to figure out what it is that they do next, to figure out if this is something that they can do. We are going to them and we are saying, you can do this. It is possible. And this is how we will create the space and structures to be able to do that. And we know when that happens, that students have higher graduation rates, that they have higher success rates, that they go into 4-year institutions, that they come to community colleges, that they transfer. And then beyond that, we know that it increases their economic mobility, their social mobility, right? So it is a beautiful program that starts with seeing students in high school and helping them to find and follow their purpose through education.
Why is it important for Black and African American students to take advantage of dual enrollment opportunities?
It is important because our students have historically been underserved. And it is time for us to say no more, that we are going to serve our students and we are going to serve them with intention, and that we are going to create space for us to be able to tap into their brilliance. Dual enrollment is indeed a unique on-ramp for students to be able to be exposed to higher education and to be able to do it as a ninth grader, right? Someone who may not be sure, is this something that I want to do? Is this something that I can do? What better way to dip your toe into the pool and to figure out if this is going to work for you than to do that when you are not at a position where you have to, in the 12 as a college student where you're trying to figure it out then, right? This allows you to do that in a safe space, right? A familiar space. And so one of our high school programs, when they first start working with their students and they start their presentations, they tell them to be brave, to take risk. And then they also say there is no better or greater experience, or there is no substitute for experience. And so if you want to think about it, how about be about it? How about we get you registered into this class and let us work with you and support you? You will have college faculty on your side. You will have access to those resources, but we're also going to be here supporting you. You can ask us questions here too. We're going to build this community. And so it provides this wonderful opportunity to dip your toe. Like, you may not know, but let's do it here. It's safe, right? It is safe. Let's try it out. And that exposure alone changes things, because now you are able to say, yes, I am at this particular high school, but you can also say, I'm a college student. Mm-hmm. I'm a college student. And experience is the greatest teacher. It's not imagining if I can. It is saying, yes, you can. And so I think that is one of the beauties of dual enrollment, in particular, those classes that are offered on the high school campus, as a very unique on-ramp that opens the door to so many opportunities. And the great part about these dual enrollment programs is that we're going to provide you with the support and resources to make sure you can do exactly that. And we provide them with peer advocates. We provide them with information and access to resources. We wrap them in love and resources. We need their brilliance, and we know that education is one of the great equalizers, right?
How is it making a difference for Black students?
We recently did a session where we had some Black educators come in, and it was just after COVID, and they wanted to see a dual enrollment program in action. And so this panel of students that I got to observe were averaging 50 to 60 units by the time they graduated from high school, right? They were doing concurrent enrollment. They were doing dual enrollment. Like, they were probably teaching their own classes on the side. It was wild. They were doing all kinds of things. And there were some students who actually said they transferred into that district because of the program that was set up for them to be able to have this access to all of these different resources. And when we sat there, somebody asked the question, well, what will you all be doing in 10 years, right? And who knows when you're doing 10 years? If you asked me that, I would not have known. Those hands shot up, right? The one student was like, I will be either finished with or nearly finished with my PhD program. Oh, awesome. Another student was doing some calculations, and she said, I believe I'll be in my third year of residency, right? Another student said, because of the exposure that we had to digital marketing and these various things, I'm going to be a director, right? Someone else said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I do know that the communication skills and the confidence that I've acquired from participating in these programs and in these classes will be a valuable asset to me, right? Those students were provided with the conditions that mattered. And then they were sitting there and not even just seeing themselves for the brilliance and the beauty that they had in that moment, but they projected that out for 10 years from now. This is what I'll be doing. This is the power of dual enrollment. This is the power of seeing. This is the power of creating conditions that matter.
If a student talks to a counselor at their school and there is not a dual enrollment program, what can they do?
They can say that I'm aware that there is state legislation that allows for dual enrollment programs to be established here on this campus. Help me understand what we can do to make that possible. And in the meantime, what are my options? Like, I also understand that I can actually be concurrently enrolled in community college classes. Help me understand how it is that I can do that and have access to those schools directly. And there are so many schools that are doing this wonderfully that they are able to partner with other people to help make sure that they know how to set and establish these programs. There's tons of information on the web. And so students, you don't have to feel like you need to know all of the details. But I think we should remind people that all of that information exists. Make it happen. And so I think that is a way. Parents also have a very huge role in this in terms of advocacy and support as well.
Why should students enrolled in an adult education program consider taking dual enrollment courses?
The premise is the same, right? No matter where it is or what age you are or how you are entering this process, if you are on track to receive a GED, some sort of credential, and you are in that space, we still want you to be able to know that this is an opportunity that exists for you. This still is an opportunity to be able to dip your toe in the water and to have that experience. So to no longer question, can I do this? But to know that you can. So it'll provide motivation for moving through those programs as adult learners and educators for us. And so I think it's the same. The premise is the same. We want you to have the experience so that you know that this is possible and so that you can see a pathway from once you get that credential to what the possibilities are for what next. And this creates that space.
Dr. Hands, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure having you here today.
Thank you.
We are the painters of our world.